Welcome, everybody. I am so glad that you are here this evening. I don't know if very many of you have signed on yet to see what the new Stamping Ground is all about, but I am going to give you an overview of that tonight. I'm going to start this as the way that an ATA member would come into Stamping Ground. This is a single sign on, so you just log in to the ATA site just like you always do. So you just click log in and you put in your email and your password and click the I'm not a robot and log in. It takes you to a special landing page for members. See, there's your name. So you know you're logged in. Here you can update your profile information, which is shared with Stamping Ground. So all your information is already in there based on what you've given us for our database. Here you can access topical time. You can order your checklists. You can shop in the store, or you can go to Stamping Ground. And so, welcome to Stamping Ground. Okay, now, normally it would take you on in if you've already logged in before. When you log in, it requires cookies. So you have to set your cookies so that it will let you, and then it should do a single sign on from then on. So it remembered my email and password, and now I can log in. And here is the dashboard for Stamping Ground. So the first time that you come in, you'll notice up here there is a place to take a tour, and it will give you the highlights of all the different areas of the community, and which is what I'm going to do for you tonight. But if you ever need a review, you can always just come here and click on the tour, the get started, and it will go through all the pieces for you. Obviously not as in depth as we are here. So this is your personal dashboard. The things that you see are related to groups that you are a member of. Obviously, you see the ATA news, and you will also see discussions that you are a part of. You will also, down here, you'll see dealers that you will be following. These are the groups that I'm a member of, and so I can easily access them and go right in and see what's going on. Just for fun, up here I have a countdown to Boston 2026. You'll want to come back frequently because we have something posted, at least one thing new posted every day. A question, a topic, a discussion. Today, Sarah posted Topical Tuesday and a fun little thing there about your favorite dessert, and also some information about handbooks that we have available. But to me, one of the parts of this that has the greatest potential is the part for groups. And so if you go up here in the main menu, you can click groups. Now you'll see that there are 3 different types of groups that we have on here. We have clubs and chapters. We have groups that are by topic, and then we have other groups. So for example, the other groups that we have a group for post crossers. And this is a big group. It already has 21 members in it. So I'll show you more about that in a minute. We also have a group for postcard collectors, and Dawn Hammond is doing that one and sharing information in there. We have groups for chapters and clubs. So for example, Felix is here representing the Puerto Rico Society. Then we also have one for the Evergreen Stamp Club, the Baltimore Philatelic Society. So we have some chapters and clubs on here, but the main emphasis is groups by topic. So these are all the groups that have been started so far by topic. Some of these are current study units. For example, Casey Jones, Cats on Stamps, Gastronomy, Gay and Lesbian, Society for Hungarian Philately. Some of them are groups that were too small. They were no longer study units, but people obviously still collect that topic. Jeff kind of restarted the Earth's Physical Features group. And Martin is heading up the Albrecht Dürer study unit. It was a study unit, but when Jack Denis passed away, the group stopped. But Martin has collected that information, and obviously people still collect it. So we wanted to have a place where they could connect and gather. So if you are a member of a study unit, or if you just have a topic that you are a big fan of and you would like to start a group, we can do that too. Just let me know. So there's a place where you can have a description of the group. You can have a news item that stays pinned to the top. So for example, Martin put an article here that has links to the journals. You can see who the members of the group are. A group can have files. So he's got some pictures, some PDFs there for files. A group could create their own events. Now, he doesn't have any set up here, but I know some of the other groups do. You can message within the group and search in the group. If you are a member of the group, you can subscribe and you'll be notified when new things pop up. It'll also show up in your news feed. Groups are either public, private, or hidden. So a public group is available for anyone to join. A private group can be seen, but you must request to join. And then a hidden group doesn't show up in the list. And that's like, we have, the board members is a hidden group. So if you are a study unit, you can decide which way works best for you. For example, many of the study units have websites and things already set up. So they have left their group to be public with information in here that points them to in the website to then join the group. And this is a way to drum up more interest. If your group does not have a website, but yet you want to charge dues and things like that, you can have it be a private group. Someone can request to join, and then you can create an email that goes to them automatically, telling them what they need to do to join. So there's several different options there. You get to set up your own profile photo, your cover photo. So I think there's a lot of potential there. And then you can have your news feed where members can post, the admin can post, and it's just a fun place to show off your collections and share information with each other. So to me, that's one of the biggest pieces of this is I look forward to other groups joining, getting them set up and having more groups available for everybody. The other piece is the discussions. So I get emails all the time with questions about things. And while I am the person in the office, that does not mean that I have all the answers. So I wanted a place where members could talk amongst themselves and ask each other questions because you are the experts, not me. We set up discussion categories. The first one is one that everyone should participate in, and it's called Introduce Yourself. You go and tell us how you got started, some of your favorite things, a little bit about yourself. To me, it's just always a fun way to get to know each other better in the community. So then we have other discussion things, ATA announcements, new things that are coming out, information about writing for topical time. We have a thing for new issues of stamps. And then general discussions about how to make album pages, youth resources, things like that. And then a big one is exhibiting. So different various aspects of exhibiting. We'll have discussion about shows, like as Boston gets closer, we'll post more information about that. So anyway, there's all sorts of things. And then down here, these are the topics that have been discussed most recently. The next piece I wanted to show you is the directories. There's two different directories. The first one is the member directory. If you go up here in the menu and click on members, these are all the people who have logged in to Stamping Ground so far. Fun fact, when you are logged in and you look for yourself, you do not see yourself here. To see your own profile, you will go up here at the top. And we'll talk about a little bit about our profiles in just a minute. On somebody's page here, you see two little buttons underneath. So the first one is if you want to send them a friend request. And the second one is if you want to send them a message. So you don't have to know their email address or anything. You can just click on that and it will send them a message through the system. So you don't have to publicly share your email addresses. If you see a name underneath someone's name, that means that they are a dealer, and that shows the name of their dealer, their company. So there's a few of those in there. You can filter by the last name or by the first name. If you're looking for somebody, you can put a search in here if you're looking for somebody specific. You can also search by topic. So if I put in sheep, if I want to see who else collects sheep, oh, look, I've got 3 people. This is exciting. Yay. So that's a fun way to find other people that collect what the same that you do. You have to remember that these are freely typed. It's not like a drop-down menu. So for example, you might do trains, but you might also need to do engine or railroad or things like that to cover everybody. To look at your profile, you come up here and you click on your name and view profile. To set up your profile, there's a button here and you click it. You can add your profile photo. You can add your cover photo, which is this right here. Add and delete there. Anyone who is an ATA member will have an ATA badge by their name. Here is your information about yourself. My topics, my email address, my contact information, philatelic organizations, about me. That's something you can just type in there. There won't be anything there. You'll have to go and type it in. And if you have links to your Facebook page and things like that. I will show you in a minute how to determine what people can see. There's options for everybody, nobody, or just your friends to see all those different pieces there. When you're looking at your profile, you can also see people that you're friends with down here. You can see your groups that you belong to. And again, you can see your dealers that you're following. You can post on your own profile page. And when you do, anyone who is your friend will see it. So that's another way to share information. You can share in your group or you can just share with your friends. The next piece is the next directory is the directory of dealers. Another question that I get frequently is, where do I buy my stamps? Or how do I get rid of my collection? I'm done collecting. How do I do that? So I wanted us to have a way to connect directly with dealers to make all of this easier. So we have a couple on here so far. We have Hungarian Stamp Exchange, and we have Wayne Youngblood and Martin's Philatelic Press. This is their profile picture, so to speak. This little symbol right here is for their website, and this is for their Facebook page, or down here, his Instagram page. To follow a dealer, you want to click on the star. If I click it now, I've unfollowed them, but to follow them, click on the star. To go to their page, you click explore. Now, Alan and Diane Bauer are the owners of Hungarian Stamp Exchange. And so they've added a couple pictures, but they tell you what they do. They have a link to their website. And then they've got an article down here. So they've got their setup, and we'll be adding more information. There's a button right here. It says join organization. Do not click that button. Trying to join that organization means that you work there. That is not the way that you follow them. Do not click on join the organization. Just little fun fact there. Perhaps they acquired a new collection of cat stamps. They could post that in their feed, and anyone who follows them then could see, oh, we got some cat stamps in. Let's go see what they have. Or you could contact them and say, I collect cats. Do you have any? And you can makes it easier to communicate with each other that way. Remember, I showed you your profile and I showed you the information that was available here. This is what is currently contained in your ATA account. If you get over here and you see that your address is wrong, that means that it's wrong in our account. So you can edit and fix it. But determining who sees what, the next thing you want to look at is account settings. For your account, there's your name, last name, email address. Here's where you choose your time zone that you're in. And here is your privacy. It's currently set. The default is that it is set for everybody. Everybody can send me private messages. Perhaps you only want friends to be able to message you. You can change that to friends only. Create profile comments. You can determine each of these things individually, who can see what. Then also down here in your profile information, you can choose each section if you want it to be seen or not. For example, you probably don't mind if everybody sees your topics, but maybe you don't want everyone to see your address. So you put that to nobody. Maybe you don't mind if your friends see your email address, but you don't want everybody to see it. So you can go through and decide exactly how you want all that set up. Down here, it says share my information with organizations. That means anytime it says organizations, that means dealers. So what that means is if you visited a dealer site, the dealer could see your information. I think it's set up. I think that's in accordance with your wishes here as to everybody, friends, or nobody. So if you have it set up for nobody, then they wouldn't see it. But just in case, if you don't want them to know that you visited their site, uncheck that box. The important thing, be sure and click Save Changes when you're done. The next piece is subscriptions. Every week on Monday morning, you will receive an email from Stamping Ground, and it will give you an update of everything that's happened that week on the post. So it'll include things in the news feed, anything that from a group that you're a member of, and any discussions that you've participated in. So you can get that weekly. You can get it daily if you prefer. Or if you don't want that, you can just click none and you won't get that at all. You also can set if you get personal alerts. So for example, if someone mentions you in a comment, so if you mention somebody, which means if you put like @Jeff, it would let Jeff know that I commented, that I mentioned him in a comment, and it would draw his attention to whatever I was talking about. And that's one way to sometimes get people to help you respond to a question. But if you have it set to personal alerts are on, that means that you would be notified by email and in Stamping Ground within 30 minutes, I believe is the time frame it says that it happened. Otherwise, if you turn it off, it will not necessarily notify you automatically. And then the other thing is your subscriptions to groups. It will notify you what has happened in the group. And that's according to how the group is set up. The group can be set up to notify members of everything that goes on, of just certain things that go on. So there's a little bit on that too. Again, don't forget to save changes. There are discussion forum subscriptions. So basically, if you comment on something, you're then following that comment. and you can unsubscribe. So if someone else comments after you or makes additional comments, you'll be notified that other people commented on that same post. You can unsubscribe so that you don't receive those notifications if you would like. Those are the main pieces that we have set up so far. It's only been active 2 weeks. And so I think that I think it's gotten a great start to it. The other pieces that will be coming, there is a section for resources where we can have videos and files. We currently have some videos on here, but most of them we have on our website currently. We will add more here as they go along. And same with files. So we've got some different things there and more will be added. And events. We have categories of events. We have Boston 2026 has started. And so as we set up the annual meeting and things like that, we will include those in that category. Normally we'll have a category for the Great American Stamp Show, but it's currently set up for Boston. And then general events, and then also dealers can sponsor events as well. So you'll see we have our Fall for Topicals scheduled down here. Our next one coming up is next Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday with Wayne Youngblood. And so if you go to this event, here's something important. You can respond here if you're going, yes or no, or maybe. You can comment about the event, but make sure that you click on the link and you go to the ATA website to register for the event so that you will receive the Zoom link in your email. We might be able to do this differently in the future, but for now, this is how they're set up. So be sure you do that so that you get the Zoom link. But this will be a great way that we can have conversations about the event, even after the event has passed. Did you go? What did you see? I'll meet you there, that type of thing. So I think that there could be a lot of fun with that. One other thing that I forgot in the last session, when you are looking at the dashboard and you see a topic and you think that it's questionable, the first thing you can do is you can unfollow something. If you don't like it, you don't want to hear any more about it or see what, you can unfollow. If you look at a post and you think that it has objectionable content, you first have to click into the post, and then it's the 3 little dots right here. And then you can click objectionable, and it will send a notice to the moderators, which is me and Sarah and a couple others. Or if it's something that you really like, you can also bookmark it so you can come back later and find it. Because as you know, in news feeds, articles move and sometimes you lose them. So you can also bookmark them so that you can find them later. Because I believe on your dashboard, see my bookmarks, saved posts. That's where it would be if I had saved a post. It would show up right there. I think that's all of the main information that I wanted to cover. When you are trying to add your cover photo, a lot of times, the first time you try to add your cover photo, you'll get a little banner that says your objection has been submitted and nothing happens.
Interesting.
So just add your cover photo a second time and it will most likely work. So yes, there are some little bugs. I will definitely ask about that one. Thank you for
Just want to provide that feedback.
That. Yes.
No worries. Okay, thanks.
Jennifer, I do Felix.
Hey, Felix.
My question is, now that like our society has a public group, if the owner wants to switch that to private, they have to contact you, or is there a feature that we can switch it from public to private?
The owner of the group can switch it to private. Let me show you how to do that.
Okay.
If you go into a group, and let me see, let me find one that is, okay, this one, Judson just asked me to set this one up, so he hasn't done anything with it yet. So oh, nope, I did turn it over to him. Oh, that's right, I'm not as ATA. Okay, sorry, I forgot. I'm used to being in here as the admin. There is in your menu up here, there's a thing that says admin. And if you click on that, then it gives you some options over here on the left-hand side. And there's one, can't think what it's, let me look over here real quick and I can tell you. Let's see. Okay, so across the menu says group admin. It is under permissions,
Okay. Thank you.
permissions, and then you can determine if it's public, private, or hidden.
All right. Thank you.
So, and if it is a public group, like you can see right here, you can join this group by clicking on that. If you are in a group, there are buttons for you to invite other people if your group has allowed that. So there's lots of ways to reach out. I would say if you are a moderator, if you are willing to get a group started, for example, you know, Martin said that he would do the Albrecht Dürer study unit. You don't have to be as fancy as Martin. You can just set it up. And I think if you start just scanning some things and putting in some pictures of your collection, ask some questions, you know, what's your favorite stamp in your collection? What's your, you know, that type of thing. Just get the conversation going as people join. I think it'll just kind of build itself. I'm contemplating doing a sheep group. I don't know if that's, oh, yay, Robert gave you the thumbs up. So I don't know if that would be, if we could get enough traffic in there or not, or if I need to expand it to all farmyard animals. But I need to get out my scanner and so I can put my pictures of my collection in there. So it doesn't have to be anything big and fancy. It can be, I mean, you can, you know, go to town with it and do it up as big as you want. But if you're just willing to be, by moderator, I mean, I need a person who is willing to just make sure that nobody gets crazy, you know, there's no offensive posts or things like that, you know, political or profanity, that type of thing. But
Jennifer, Louis again.
yes,
This would be an opportune time perhaps to show us the search function.
Yes.
For example, could you look up Chicago PECs and would it return the information you just showed?
Yes.
let's see. That's excellent. Chicago PECs. Oh, look at that. It does. It's
And
actually
Google.
pretty good. I've searched a couple of things, but not that much. So I'm so glad that you mentioned that.
And, you know, to follow on with the search conversation, it's an extremely powerful aspect of the community. The one thing you have to remember is that the system is indexing itself about every 15 minutes. So if you go on and make a post about Chicago PECs and immediately try to search for it, it will not show up. Give the system about 15 minutes to finish that indexing process, and then it will.
Oh, I didn't show you this. So the little bell is if you get a friend request, it will, this will have a red dot by it and you can click there and it'll be up here for pending. And then you can just accept, and then you can see your friends down here. And then also your messages, your inbox is right here. You go to there, your inbox, then you can, after you've done, I've already connected with Natalie, you can delete it. Click and then delete.
Jennifer, I just have one comment. For those that use Facebook, this is much better because you don't have to deal with extra stuff and stuff you don't want to see. But what I like is when you send a message, is it gives you the option to bold it, change colors, add photos. So as far as, you know, that part, that just blows away Facebook, whether you're a group or a page.
Well, I really appreciate you all coming this evening, and I hope I've been able to answer all of your questions and giving you some inspiration to maybe either, if you are a member of a group, to get your group on board or create your own group. I think there's some great things to come here.